One of the things you do is you've taken the old military-industrial complex, and Eisenhower's military-industrial complex, and we still talk about it that way, and you've kind of expanded it. So if you could just talk a little about the military-industrial complex now. I mean, you talk about the donut industrial. I mean, tell us a little about the many directions that what we used to call the military-industrial complex has gone.
Well, I mean, the old Eisenhower model of the military-industrial complex still exists. Lockheed, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, I mean, they're still major players, the largest in it. And big corporations like General Motors were always big players in the Eisenhower variant. And they still exist in today's military-industrial complex. But now there's something that I call the military corporate complex, which includes all those older players, the big arms dealers, massive corporations, oil companies, and then these newer civilian companies that you wouldn't think immediately are involved in the military, like Apple Computer or Starbucks or like you say the donut companies like Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts on the military payroll.
What you've done is to lay out the way in which the military has moved into our lives and the way in which we largely don't see that. So, I was thinking, for instance, of toys. I was thinking of tell us about the Super Soaker gun, because, your kid runs, it is a water gun, right? But what's the link? What link could there be to the Pentagon with the Super Soaker toy gun that who puts out? Hasbro, maybe?
Yeah, it's a Hasbro toy, and actually, the Hasbro and the military have had a close relationship for a long time. The military shares information and specs on equipment and soldiers' body armor, that type of thing, with Hasbro, so that they can make the most realistic toys possible. But it's a two-way street, because the military took a look at Hasbro's Super Soaker and said that it held promise as a model for new weapons, actual weapons, quick loading weapon system. So used it as a template. The military develops simulators to train their soldiers, and these they resemble advanced video games, but they strike deals with video game companies to turn these simulators into commercial games. But it goes the other way. There's popular commercial games that are produced by civilian firms that are then retrofitted, changed into military simulators. The Army has a MySpace page, the Marine Corps too, the Air Force had one for a time. The military saw this as just another method to get in front of the eyes of young people. So social networking is one of the big ways they're going about it. Video games, they have websites that they look like civilian sites. They're modeled after, some are geared towards parents, some are geared towards the kids, but they give the impression that it's for help in career placement, what to do when high school's done, and they don't articulate it except in the fine print hidden on these sites that they're military sites, but they recommend that kids take the Armed Forces aptitude test, but don't give them information on exactly what that is.
I mean, wouldn't you say that we look largely, to a large extent, like a pretty unmilitarized society if you just walk around, if you just look in your daily life? And yet, your book shows that almost everywhere you turn, in your house, with your products, you're somehow linked. You're within less than 6 degrees, to take the old game of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game. You're within 6 degrees of the Pentagon. Actually, you're usually within 1 or 2 degrees, right?
That's right. Yeah. Basically, every kitchen cupboard or refrigerator has in America has a full component of products that are, say, created by manufactured by companies that support the Pentagon, that are its biggest suppliers.
One of the things that's fascinated me about your book is that you also have done a lot of work in ways in which, in a government, the Bush administration, in which so many things weren't being attended to, the Pentagon was attending. It was doing almost the only blue skies were around.
That's right.